This is a Dodge Coronet. I believe it to be a 69. Oh yeah, it says it right on the front. Okay, that made it easy. I was, I knew because in 70 they came out with the high back bucket seats and didn't have it. And I was looking at this grill here. Kind of reminded me of the Roadrunner grill from 69. I figured, yeah, that's right. It's the 500 trim level. That has nothing to do with the engine size. They used to have like a 440 trim level. It had nothing to do with the engine size. People used to think it was at a 440 in there. It could have a 318, but this don't have a 318. It's got, I don't know what it has. It would have probably a 383 or 440. It's got all the gauges in the console. Looks exactly like a 69 Roadrunner interior in a lot of ways. That's the same console, same steering wheel, because I had a 69 Roadrunner. Used to have the little Roadrunner beep beep thing and a horn button, and up there on the dash. Yeah, it looks like the same dash too. Yeah. It's got the slap six shifter, 727 Torque Flight B transmission. It's in gold. BF Goodrich TAs. So looks like a single stage color to me. That's what they would have been. Yeah, you can see that's the taillights in the back. That's definitely Coronet style. Kind of like the 70 Roadrunner. Sort of borrowed that a little bit, but they had like two slots in each side. They had like the horizontal taillights in the back. And then in 70 they came up with the high back bucket seats. 69 they had the headrest, the two posts in the back like you see on this. So I like Ike. Yeah. Well, Ike, I don't like that guy, but anyway. His image ain't what he really is about. So, you know what I mean? That was the motto back then. That was in the 50s. So, oh, he's got the headrest off of this one. And that's off of that side. He's got the windows on there, the wing vent windows. I love those things. Cool you down a lot better. They used to paint these cars with acrylic enamel, which is the Chrysler paint. I thought that paint held up. Not a clear coat system, not a urethane, acrylic enamel. Chevys had acrylic lacquer, and the GM products had acrylic lacquer, I know that. Then later, sometime, I think it was in the late 70s, they came out with the urethane, single stage paint still. They didn't have the dual stage, dual with the clear coat, base coat, clear coat. And they had, Ditzler had Delstar, and DuPont had urethane. And you could paint the cars actually with the urethane paint without the catalyst, but that was a big deal back then. You put the catalyst in it, even if you get lacquer thinner on it, it doesn't even affect it, Now it's like nothing, man. It's like, now that's considered a cheap paint job. So the cars back in the day, they didn't have anywhere near the quality of paint they got today, but the sheet metal on them was thicker, even in the 60s. In the 50s, they were thicker than the 60s. And then what do you call it? Freaking metal in 40s was thicker than the 50s. Yeah, if they could stop the they didn't stop the rust. They stopped the rust, we would have no problems with these cars. They'd probably, most of them be on the road today, because rust is really what killed them. Most of the cars were produced in, where the most populous area was in the Northeast. And the Northeast has the salt and the snow. It's basically not the snow and the rain, but the salt on the roads. The population out west is not nearly as dense. So most of the cars produced were up in the Northeast, one up in the Northeast, and they rusted out. And I know they had technology back even in the 1800s. They used to have Cosmoline. They used to use that in the military to stop the rust. And they could have done that inside the frames, inside the rocker panels, inside the doors. Real cheap. I just noticed it's got the little bumperettes on there. They didn't do that. But if you bought the car and you did it later, you would have been fine. But so many people thought to do that, right? They didn't realize that today cars, you can't really fix them the way you used to.